Welcome to this brief introduction of the Women's Ministry Publicity files. We will assume that you've been through the introduction to Dropbox or are familiar with Dropbox and know where to start. In Dropbox, you'll find a Publicity and PR files folder. If you have any problems accessing that folder, please contact me and I will make sure that you get access to it right away. In the folder, you'll find at the very top a folder entitled Zero Conference Publicity. The reason it's called Zero Conference Publicity is simply to keep it at the top of the list. It's in caps, so it's very obvious that this is the folder that you're looking for, and we're hoping that that will make it more convenient for you to find. This folder will continue to be populated with all of the information and documents from the conference publicity, the conference team, having to do with publicity for the conference. It could well include the images, more images like you see there now, more documents, things that can be printed. It might also include video files and MP3 files that we hope to utilize, and we hope that you will find all of these resources in one place in this folder. When you open the folder, for example, if you were looking at the Word document right now, that would be a very important thing for you to know about. We would ask that you refer to this Word document for all of the text regarding the conference. If someone asks you for a bulletin announcement or some information about the conference for the newsletter, we would respectfully ask that you not just simply write your own thoughts or what you understand the conference to be doing. We would really like you to go to this document and copy and paste the information. The conference planning team has worked very hard to make sure that the words are crafted correctly to represent exactly what the conference is trying to address and make sure that there's no misunderstandings. So again, we would just ask that you would use the information verbatim from this document. You may find it easier to send the information or send a file, for example, to a church secretary or a congregational contact. If you simply right-click on the file that you want to send, you will be able to see that there is a Send To option just a little bit more than halfway down the list. And then once that shows the listing, again, you would be able to choose a mail recipient. And when you click on mail recipient, then a new box will come up that will say, who do you want to send it to? Simply paste the email address into the box, and you should be all set to email a file to someone who needs that information or that file. Another document that we would want you to be able to refer to and understand is the conference marketing plan, and that would be an Excel document. This marketing plan is, again, a working document, so please recognize that the conference planning team will continue to update it and make changes to this document as they see fit and as they fine-tune some of their plans. So again, that's why you would want to refer back to it rather than just assume that once you saw something several months ago that it would still be current information. Refer to the document, but this is a place where you would go if, for example, you wondered when promotional information should be going in the newsletters, bulletins, that type of thing. You could see when they have kind of slated that they would like to see that information going out. You're not expected to come here to find that information. It will be sent to you as well, so you know. But if you're curious about the overall plan or you'd like to know what's coming and look ahead a little bit, this is where you could look for that information. Again, it's a working document, so please recognize that it will be updated and changed as the conference planning team sees fit. So again, that's the quick review on the conference publicity. Again, just keep checking the folder. Information will be there as the conference team is ready to release specific things for you to use. Anything in this folder can be shared and should be used, and we ask that you just go to this one place to make sure that you have the most correct information and the most recent information. The next thing we'll talk about is the general publicity for women's ministry. And to start that conversation, I'd like you to look at the bottom of the list at the Excel file named Events, and this particular one is Events 2015. This is a working document for every team member that they would be able to go in and add places where they know there will be WELS gatherings, that we could possibly have a display table, or that we might want to disperse information. If you would like to add something to this file, and we do encourage you to do that, please note again the tabs at the bottom. The example that you see is the March tab. And at that point you would open the appropriate tab, enter the date, enter the start date of the event. We realize some are 1 or 2 or 3 days. Just enter the start date. The name of the event, where it is, the city and the state. We would like you to put your name in the column to show who put the information there. So if somebody goes back and says, hey, I don't know anything about the Pathways Retreat, who put that information in there, you would know that I put that in there. And the event contact name that I put in there was Paula Nimmer. She's a woman that's associated with that retreat, so she would be a person that we could contact about that. The display column is for the name of a person who is willing to host a display at that event. We realize that just because you added the event does not necessarily mean that you would be able to host the display. So if you would see, for example, these 3 March events don't have a specific person assigned to the display yet, then you would be able to say, hey, that's something I'd be interested in. You could contact your chairman, and then we could add you to that list so we know who would be available to help with that display. Now that we've established where the events are being held and who might be interested in going, we have a list of resources for people to refer to. So you would ask yourself, well, what can I take along? What resources are available? You would refer to the index of resources, where we have one comprehensive list of the things that you could consider or take along for the display, or to share information, have a presentation, that type of thing. While this Excel sheet looks a little busy, if you take a minute, you will see that in the second column there's a description of all the items that we have had or currently have available that we've used for publications. You'll also notice then to the left of that description column is a number. The number is helpful because we've gotten to the point where we have so many different items and types of things, people may refer to them differently, and we want to make sure that we know exactly what people are talking about. So you're talking about a brochure. Well, which brochure are you talking about? There have been a few, there'll be more coming, and so this is a place where you would be able to identify a number to say, this is exactly the document that I'm looking for. You would then be able to see, is that something that you can just print that's a PDF file? Is it something that we have had printed? And if so, who is it for? Where is it? We also would like to track how much we spent on it, where those funding sources came from, where is it right now. So that's all detailed information that you would be able to find in this Excel spreadsheet. Once you've identified the number of the item that you are interested in finding, then you would go back to the list, and there they are in numerical order, and you would simply be able to select the individual file, the individual folder for that document. So in that folder, you would find, for example, with the information sheet, a publisher file and a PDF file. The publisher file is for the exec team to update and make sure that that is current, so that we've always got the correct information going out. We would ask that you not change that just because we want to make sure, again, that we're presenting this unified look and that we don't have different documents out there that are similar but not really the same. And so we just have the PDF file there for you, and hopefully you would be able to then print that, and it would always be current and updated for you. And one other final thing that we have as a resource for you, if you're interested, is a blank PowerPoint presentation. This would be if you're going to give a presentation and you would like to use something that's uniform across our women's ministry team, then we would ask that you use this. Again, it would just be the thought that then this similar presentation is being made so that it has a familiar look, if anybody would see it again and go, oh yeah, that's women's ministry. The various slides will have titles and logos and things that would be helpful for you to have in a blank PowerPoint. And then you can add your own text and whatever it is that you would like to cover for your own material. So that's it for the publicity files regarding women's ministry in general and the conference. Again, working documents, working folders, they'll be changing and be constantly updated, but that's the point of putting them on Dropbox. It will give you the ability to make sure that you're accessing the most recent and current information. Thank you.